What's up, YouTube? Smells like Vin here. I haven't done a video in a really long time, and I'm kind of in the mood to review. So, yeah, let's just jump right into it. I am going to review the Melvins 1989, I'm pretty sure, sophomore release, Ozma. For those of you who don't know, the Melvins are a sludge metal band from Aberdeen. I believe they formed sometime in the early 80s. And they are an incredible band. They have so many good albums. And this album is one of their best, despite the fact that I don't think it gets as much credit as it's due. So a couple things just to start off with. The Melvins' debut record, Gluey Porch Treatments, was really good. But the production was eh. The production, it wasn't like fuzzed out, but it was sometimes it was hard to hear the bass, and the drums would either be too high or too in the back, and yeah, it doesn't really take away from the overall experience too much, but this album fixes those production problems, and is, in my opinion, one of the reasons why I think this is an overall better release from the Melvins. And at this point in time, the Melvins, their songs rarely went over like 2 minutes. The longest song was like 6 minutes. On this record, the longest song is like 6 seconds and like a half or whatever. And they're good at that. They're good at making songs that are short, but are still memorable. And an interesting thing about this album is that in the beginning of this year, I listened to it, and I hated it. I thought the songs sounded too similar. The flow was it just kind of stayed, it didn't change, there was like no dynamics. Keep in mind, that's what I thought then. And I just didn't like it. I was like, okay, whatever. I just dismissed it. Even though I had listened to other Melvins albums at that point in time and enjoyed them, that one, this one just didn't do, anything for me at that point. And about 2 months ago, month and a half ago, around there, my brother was getting heavily into the Melvins, and the first album he got was Ozma. And he showed me a couple songs, and I liked it a little better at that point, but I still wasn't really big into it like I am now. And so about 3 days go by, and I'm like, okay, well, if he likes it so much, I'm sure I'll like it if I give it a chance. So I got it, and I listened to it, and it blew me away. And that opinion and that first impression has lasted all this time, and I love this album now. It was definitely a grower, like a lot of Melvins albums. So, this album is extremely original because the heaviness isn't really measured so much with the guitar tone. Don't get me wrong, the guitars are heavy, but the kind of appeal to me is the fact that everything has weight to it. It's weighing you down. The drums, crushing, heavy, slow. Dale Crover's an amazing drummer. The time changes and beats he does are so complex. They are genius. They're just total genius. And he does it throughout the whole record. He just constantly does these interesting, off-kilter, off-timing, yet in-timing kind of beats, and it's awesome. And again, he uses toms to his advantage, cymbals, everything he does just has this weight to it, and it's amazing. The vocals that King Buzzo, Buzz Osborne, King Buzzo, whatever you want to call him, he is one of the creepiest, original, and insane vocalists I've ever heard, and he really shines through in this record. Not only because his lyrics kind of make no sense. They're kind of just total nonsense. They're not, but to you they are because you don't know what they're talking about at all. That combined with his really creepy kind of almost sounds like he's in like pain as he's singing, and he's so dripping with like despair and like depression. It's really weird, and that mood carries on throughout the whole album, and it never lets up. And I mean, he doesn't growl. He just kind of like snarls, like he does these weird noises. He's insane, and that adds to the creepiness and the mood and tone of the album overall. And then, surprisingly, the person who plays bass for the Melvins is Shirley Temple's daughter. Because when I think Melvins, I think Shirley Temple, without a doubt. So her name is Lori Black, nicknamed Lorax, or Lorax, and she's a really good bassist. Unfortunately, I did say the production is a lot better on this album, but the bass sometimes is a little harder to hear, but I still think overall that you can hear it, and again, it's just as bone-crushing as the guitar and the drums. So particular songs on this album that I think are highlights, Vile is the intro. Vile starts out with this kind of drony, creepy droning effect, and then a short instrumental segues into the first vocal performance of Buzz, and it's incredible. Again, really creepy, snarling, weird, angry vocals. A sludgy mess. It drones on during the little section between the beginning, the end, and that little middle part. And the reason I'm just saying middle and beginning is because they're a very progressive band as far as structure goes. They don't really commit to the whole verse, chorus, bridge, and chorus, and whatever. Sometimes they do, but a lot of the time the Melvins have a very progressive structure about them, and I like that a lot, and this album showcases that, so I love that. So that's a great song, Cool Legged or Cool Legged. It starts out with this really repetitive, it's not even a riff, it just goes gung, 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 again and again and again, and the drums are just doing this boom, boom, boom. There's just one, like, stagnant kind of pattern, and the lyrics are weird. One of the lyrics are like, the river where your legs meet sprouts wings and runs and kicks, and then I speak. A picture of Jesus as an Indian on my wall above my bed. Just weird lyrics. And again, vocal performance is top notch. And maybe the main event, you might say, of Ozma, in my opinion, is it's two songs, it's one. It's We Reach, and then it looks like it would be Revolution. It's like Revolution / We Reach, but it's like one letter shy of being Revolution. I don't really know how you pronounce it, but if you get the album, you'll know what I mean. And it is slow, it's scary, it's everything you want in the Melvin songs and more. And then when We Reach comes, it's even slower, it's even scarier, and it's even heavier. And yeah, it's great. Green Honey, Agonizer, Razor Paw, all great short little bursts of aggression that the Melvins just kind of pump out. The flow of this record is also something interesting. To be honest, the flow is somewhat, has a samey feeling to it, but at the same time, that makes songs like We Reach and, Love Thing and At a Crawl even better, because you're listening to like 4 or 5 songs that sound the same, and all of a sudden, bam, here comes the 6-minute song that it's like catches you by surprise, and I love that. And the first time listening to this album, you will definitely see that and hear that. What else? Oh, there's 2 covers on this album, Love Thing and Candio. Love Thing is a Kiss cover, and let me just... Sorry. Love Thing is a Kiss cover by, yeah, I fucking hate Kiss. I'm gonna be totally honest, I don't like Kiss at all. They're not bad, I was never into them, but this is actually a really good cover. It's just kind of a nice little... Oh, sorry about my phone, by the way. It's kind of just a nice little riff repeated over with some good drums, catchy, whatever. And then Candio is a Cause cover. I am not terribly familiar with the Cause. I mean, I know who they are, but I've never really heard anything by them. And this is an okay cover. Again, I'm not basing these covers on if they do the originals justice. I'm just saying if I like them or not. And yeah, it's probably my least favorite song off the album, but not bad by any means. So, the Melvins. Ozma. It's dark, it's heavy, it's creepy, and if you are a metal fan, you gotta check this album out. It's more of a listening experience, if you will, than just listening to an album. I love this album. It definitely ranks on one of my top albums. It's one of the best Melvins records. And if you are into sludge metal and you haven't heard this record, you gotta pick it up because it is incredible. I'm gonna give it a 9.7. Only reason I didn't give it a full 10 is because the bass, I'd like to hear it a bit more. And because those 2 covers I'm not huge on. But yeah, sorry this video was a little long. I tend to ramble, so sorry about that. So rate, comment, subscribe. I have been getting some pretty nice feedback from a few people on my other video, and I'm gonna ask you guys to give me feedback. Tell me what I can do better. You know, tell me what I did wrong. Tell me what you liked about it. And tell your opinions on this amazing album, if you've heard it, down in the description box. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.